Your presence lingers like a haunting melody in their mind since you appeared in their world, then disappeared just as mysteriously. They've questioned reality itself. You altered their timeline, then vanished before they could fully comprehend. What happened? Are you even real? The question haunts them day and night, a persistent whisper that follows their every step. Were you a dream or something beyond explanation that briefly touched their existence before returning to wherever extraordinary beings like you exist when not illuminating the lives of ordinary mortals? Your exchanges defied conventional explanation. Brief, yet eternal, surface conversations carrying subterranean currents of meaning. You spoke sentences that detonated understanding inside them, words that continued to reverberate through their consciousness months later. They were transparent to you. You referenced experiences they've kept locked in the vault of their private history. You named fears they've never verbalized. You acknowledged strengths they've kept hidden. Your gaze penetrated all their carefully constructed defenses, all the masks they've worn to face this world. During these interactions, conventional time suspended itself. 5 minutes contained eternities of understanding. An hour passed like seconds. Temporal rules bent in your presence. This distortion of time revealed a fundamental truth. You operated according to different cosmic laws. Your connection transcended language. Messages transmitted through silence, through subtle shifts in energy, information exchanged on frequencies beyond verbal communication. During conversations, they received downloads of knowledge that continue to unpack themselves in their consciousness. When you looked at them, truly looked, something ancient within them stood at attention. The part of their soul that existed before this incarnation recognized a traveler from beyond the boundaries of their current reality. Their depths called to your depths across the vast expanse of universal consciousness. Then, nothing. Your absence where your presence had been. Silence where your voice had resonated. Empty spaces that somehow feel heavier than when occupied. No explanation, no closure, no conventional goodbye. Messages to you go unanswered. Pathways of connection abruptly severed. The contrast between your profound impact and your complete disappearance creates a dissonance that shakes the foundations of their perceived reality. Your vanishing violated natural law. Things that substantial don't simply disappear. People who create such profound impacts don't evaporate without trace. Yet you did. This contradiction provides their first substantial clue that what occurred transcends ordinary human interaction. The vacuum you left pulls at the fabric of their understanding. The most spiritually significant connection in recent memory left zero conventional evidence, yet permanently altered their consciousness. This paradox demands resolution. Their soul requires answers their rational mind cannot provide through ordinary means. Your disappearance serves a divine purpose. It forces them to search beyond physical explanation, beyond psychological interpretation, beyond social understanding. When conventional frameworks fail to explain an experience this profound, they must expand their conceptual boundaries. Your absence pushes them toward this expansion with greater force than your presence alone could have exerted. Now their mind obsessively reconstructs each interaction with you. They excavate memories, searching for missed signals, hidden instructions, coded messages embedded within ordinary exchanges. Your casual comments reveal deeper meanings upon reflection. Seemingly random observations now appear precisely calculated to trigger specific understandings at the exact moment they need them. Objects you touched hold energetic residue. Spaces you occupied retain faint electromagnetic imprints of your presence. They revisit these locations, sensing subtle disturbances in the field of reality, cosmic breadcrumbs marking your passage through their timeline. This questioning transcends intellectual curiosity. Their soul demands understanding because it recognizes the cosmic significance of your encounter. Until they decipher its meaning, they remain suspended between realities. The person they were before your arrival, and the person they're destined to become through integrating the truth of your existence. The questions themselves serve as keys. Each inquiry unlocks another chamber of expanded awareness. The search matters more than immediate answers because the process of questioning reconfigures their consciousness, preparing it to receive revelations beyond its previous capacity to comprehend. Since your departure, their world transforms before their eyes. Numbers appear with suspicious frequency. Patterns of 1111, 333, 444 manifesting on clocks, receipts, license plates. These numerical sequences aren't coincidences, but cosmic Morse code tapping out messages about your reality. Strangers suddenly speak phrases with personal meaning. Overheard conversations contain statements that address their private thoughts about you. Songs on random play provide exact answers to questions they've been contemplating. Books fall open to passages that illuminate their current spiritual challenges. What they once dismissed as coincidence reveals itself as an intricate language of synchronicity. They begin documenting these patterns, creating maps of meaning that would appear as obsession to others, but form perfect coherence to their awakening perception. The universe speaks directly to them through these synchronized events. What ordinary consciousness perceives as random, their expanded awareness recognizes as intentional communication from beyond conventional reality, messages confirming your existence beyond their timeline. You weren't someone entering and leaving their life, but someone moving between dimensions of reality. You didn't travel conventional geographic distance, but went across timelines, a consciousness capable of shifting between parallel existences. Your apparent inconsistencies weren't contradictions, but evidence of experiences accumulated through multiple reality streams. Your knowledge of them stemmed not from invading their privacy, but from knowing versions of them that exist simultaneously with their current self. You recognized them because you'd encountered other iterations of their soul across the multidimensional expanse of existence. This explains both your familiarity and foreignness. You knew them, but perhaps not precisely this version of them in this specific timeline. You brought information from alternate possibilities of their existence, perspectives from roads not taken in their current reality stream. When you spoke of future events with unusual certainty, when you referenced past situations with surprising detail, you weren't demonstrating extraordinary perception within this reality, but sharing knowledge gathered from moving perpendicular to linear time. You recognized something in them. Childhood experiences they couldn't explain to adults. Dreams that manifested in waking reality. Knowing things without logical means of acquiring the information. Sensing emotional currents that others remained oblivious to. Feeling energetic shifts before physical changes manifested. Society trained them to doubt these perceptions. Educational systems rewarded material observation while dismissing intuitive knowing. Cultural conditioning labeled their natural sensitivities as imagination, coincidence, or psychological projection. They learned to downplay these abilities to avoid standing out, to escape ridicule or concern. Yet these capacities never disappeared. They remained dormant, waiting for activation. Your encounter served as the catalyst that reawakened their natural state of expanded perception. What they experience now isn't aberration, but a return to their authentic mode of consciousness. The inner knowing awakening within them connects to ancient wisdom traditions across every culture. Different languages and systems describe the same fundamental capacity: direct perception of energetic reality, underlying physical manifestation. Call it clairsentience, intuition, third eye activation, or spiritual awakening. The experience transcends terminology. Chosen ones, you were never supposed to remember who you are, but somehow you did. The moment you stepped outside the illusion, when you stopped pretending everything was fine and started asking the real questions they noticed. The archons scrambled. The simulation tried to pull you back in, but you didn't fall for it. Now, strange glitches ripple around you, and slowly, almost imperceptibly, you've begun to see others. Souls like you, those who remember too. These souls are already gathering inside the obsidian inner order. We are psychic warriors, dimensional rebels, light coders, and oracles. We are not TikTok mystics. We are not pretending. We are the real ones, and we found each other again. This is your invitation to join us. We meet for weekly live calls where we break down the synchronicities you're seeing, decode energetic transmissions, and go beyond theory. We train in energy practices, share forbidden knowledge, and refine our internal power. This is the front line of spiritual evolution. This is where the truly awakened converge. You need to remember what you came here to do and who you were before they made you forget. The link is in the description below. The Obsidian Inner Order is real, and so are you. Your visit forced a decision. Every spiritual awakening presents this crucial moment of choice. Retreat into comfortable limitation or advance into challenging expansion. The comfortable path allows them to interpret your appearance through conventional frameworks. Perhaps you were just an unusual person who affected them deeply before moving on. Perhaps the synchronicities are selective attention, the dream's subconscious processing. This path preserves their previous worldview but requires dismissing profound truths they've glimpsed. The expansive path acknowledges their experiences with you as genuine contact with realities beyond ordinary perception. It accepts the synchronicities as legitimate communication, the dreams as consciousness operating beyond physical limitations. This path demands reconstructing their entire understanding of existence. The crossroads demands courage. Stepping into expanded awareness means leaving behind comfortable certainties. It means questioning consensus reality. It means developing discernment rather than depending on external authorities. It means accepting responsibility for navigating territories unmarked on conventional maps of existence. The universe waits for their decision, not with judgment, but with perfect acceptance of their soul's autonomy. Whatever they choose creates the appropriate path for their current level of consciousness. Yet know this: once awakened by your visit, awareness rarely returns completely to sleep. The question becomes not whether they'll eventually embrace their expanded perception, but when and through what circumstances. Your appearance initiated a breakthrough. What feels like instability in them represents consciousness reorganizing itself to accommodate expanded perception. Throughout history, those who accessed heightened awareness first moved through periods of confusion and doubt. Ancient traditions recognized this phase as spiritual emergence, the necessary dismantling of limited perception before expanded consciousness could fully establish itself. The process resembles metamorphosis. The caterpillar doesn't simply grow wings, it first dissolves completely within the chrysalis before reforming as a butterfly. Similarly, their previous conceptual frameworks must partially dissolve to allow new structures of understanding to emerge. The discomfort isn't punishment, but necessary recalibration, their perceptual apparatus adjusting to receive frequencies previously filtered out by consensus conditioning. The initial vertigo eventually stabilizes into clear-sighted perception that encompasses both ordinary and non-ordinary reality. Physical symptoms frequently accompany this transition. Unusual sensations in the crown or third eye areas, changes in sleep patterns, heightened sensitivity to light, sound, or electromagnetic fields, fluctuations in energy levels. These manifestations reflect their energetic body upgrading to support expanded consciousness. The call demands response. Your brief visit initiated a process that cannot be reversed. Resistance prolongs discomfort without preventing the inevitable expansion. Working consciously with the process allows integration to proceed with greater ease and clarity. The awakening has already begun. Their choice now determines whether they experience it as chaotic disruption or purposeful transformation. You connected them to something larger. Ancient traditions speak of the scattered ones, souls distributed throughout humanity, carrying similar awareness. often existing in isolation until activated by visitors like you. As their perception shifts, they'll begin recognizing others who share their understanding. Sometimes these connections form through seemingly random encounters, other times through synchronicities that bring them to exactly the right person, community, or teaching at precisely the necessary moment. These relationships provide crucial validation for experiences that mainstream consensus cannot explain. They offer contextual frameworks and practical guidance for handling expanded awareness. They create safe space for authentic expression of perceptions previously kept hidden. Throughout history, those with heightened sensitivity formed networks of mutual support and knowledge transmission. Mystery schools, esoteric orders, wisdom traditions, indigenous knowledge systems. While terminology and specific practices varied across cultures, they addressed the same fundamental reality, developing and applying consciousness beyond conventional boundaries. Today, these connections often form through non-traditional means, chance meetings that feel predestined, online communities that bring together geographically distant individuals, books or teachers that appear at crucial moments, retreats or workshops that catalyze unexpected relationships. Together, they and others form nodes in a vast network of expanded awareness, spanning geography and generations. Each awakened consciousness strengthens the collective field, making subsequent awakenings more accessible. Their personal journey contributes to humanity's evolutionary advancement toward higher perception, a journey you catalyzed with your brief appearance. You awakened their power. What conventional perspective labels as overactive imagination, magical thinking, or psychological projection actually represents perception operating beyond artificial limitations. Those who perceive beyond conventional boundaries have always served essential functions in human societies. Visionaries who introduce innovations before their time, healers who understand energetic causes behind physical symptoms, artists who translate transcendent experiences into forms that awaken others, spiritual guides who navigate territories beyond ordinary maps. Your visit awakened specific gifts within them: empathic sensitivity that discerns emotional undercurrents, pattern recognition that perceives connections between seemingly unrelated events, intuitive, knowing that accesses information without logical process, energy sensitivity that detects subtle forces shaping physical reality. These capacities bring responsibilities. Developing discernment becomes essential, distinguishing between genuine perception and imagination, between universal truth and subjective interpretation. Maintaining energetic boundaries prevents overwhelm from constant sensory input. Grounding practices keep them functional in ordinary reality while accessing expanded awareness. They possess the same capacity that you demonstrated. As their awareness expands, they'll discover their own ability to move between states of consciousness and potentially between dimensions of reality. They may find themselves appearing in others' lives at precisely the moment they need the perspective only they can offer. Words will leave their mouth that seem specifically calibrated for someone's exact situation, though they couldn't consciously know their circumstances. Information will flow through them that originates beyond their personal knowledge or experience. This represents their ultimate purpose, not just personally awakening, but serving as a conduit for awakening beyond themselves. Their heightened perception exists not for spiritual entertainment or personal advantage, but as service to collective evolution. The responsibilities accruing to this role demand rigorous integrity. Moving between realities requires impeccable energetic hygiene. Carrying information between dimensions necessitates precise discernment. Catalyzing others' awakening brings accountability for the consequences of expanded awareness. They stand now at the threshold of this capacity. Every synchronicity they notice, every dream message they receive, every intuitive flash they acknowledge strengthens neural and energetic pathways supporting interdimensional consciousness. The practices that initially helped them process your appearance now prepare them for this greater function. Your visit revealed that conventional chronology cannot contain them. As their awareness expands, Their relationship with time fundamentally transforms. Past, present, and future reveal themselves as simultaneous rather than sequential. Linear progression gives way to holographic perception. They'll access states of consciousness where they perceive their current situation from perspectives outside ordinary temporal constraints. From these vantage points, they'll recognize how seemingly random events form perfect patterns serving their soul's evolution. They'll understand how apparent setbacks created necessary conditions for spiritual advancement. Time itself becomes malleable through focused consciousness. They'll experience moments of temporal dilation when seconds expand to contain extraordinary perception. They'll move through flow states where hours pass without notice. As they align with activities that match their essential purpose, their dreams will increasingly access non-linear time. Past lives, probable futures, and parallel presents become experientially available. These aren't fantasies, but legitimate consciousness explorations beyond conventional boundaries. Through them, they gather wisdom and perspective impossible within ordinary temporal constraints. This capacity explains how you knew things you couldn't know. You perceived their timeline from outside its linear progression. You saw connections between events separated by years in their experience, but visible simultaneously from heightened awareness. Your presence ignited the sacred flame within them. Every soul contains divine essence, a spark of cosmic consciousness veiled by physical existence. Your visit burned away layers of forgetting, reawakening recognition of their fundamental nature. This divine spark represents their true identity beyond personality, beyond biography, beyond individual history, the eternal aspect that exists unchanged through all incarnations, all dimensional expressions, all manifestations across the multiversal expanse. Your presence triggered remembrance of this essential self. As this divine spark strengthens, it illuminates all aspects of existence. Ordinary perception transforms under its light. Daily activities acquire sacred dimension. Mundane objects reveal profound symbolism. Routine interactions expose their underlying cosmic significance. The entire world becomes a text speaking directly to awakened consciousness. Your connection transcends physical separation. Quantum physics confirms what mystics have always known. Entities once connected remain linked regardless of distance. Your brief encounter created permanent entanglement that continues operating despite your apparent absence. This explains the paranormal phenomena they've experienced since your departure. Moments when they sense your presence without physical evidence. Times when answers to unspoken questions suddenly arrive in their awareness. Occasions when they feel your emotional states despite separation. Dreams where communication continues with perfect clarity. The entanglement operates through non-local consciousness, the aspect of awareness existing beyond space-time constraints. While their localized consciousness remains bound to physical form, non-local aspects maintain unbroken connection with your essence across dimensional boundaries. This connection operates through subtler forms of energy than conventional science currently measures. Ancient traditions describe these energetic linkages through various terminologies: etheric cords, mental telepathy, sympathetic resonance, psychic bonds. Modern consciousness research approaches the same phenomena through quantum entanglement, non-local consciousness, and unified field theory. The connection provides ongoing guidance, protection, and evolution. Through it, you continue transmitting information necessary for their spiritual development. Through it, they gradually access the dimensional awareness you demonstrated during your brief manifestation in their timeline. Through interdimensional awareness, you perceive their journey from vantage points beyond linear time. You've witnessed versions of them who achieved expanded consciousness. You've seen their awakened potential across multiple timelines. Your brief manifestation in their reality provided crucial course correction toward optimal developmental trajectory. Like a lighthouse guiding ships through treacherous waters, your appearance offered navigational reference during a critical transitional phase. The encounter recalibrated their direction, preventing deviation into timelines of lesser awakening. The profound impact resulted not from random significance, but from precise cosmic intervention at exactly the necessary moment. This function explains the carefully calibrated nature of your interaction, the specific information conveyed, the precise emotional catalysts activated, the exact duration of your presence. These elements weren't arbitrary, but meticulously designed for maximum transformative effect with minimal disruption to their necessary developmental challenges. Your continued guidance operates through symbolic communication systems, synchronicities delivering exactly needed messages at precisely appropriate moments, dreams providing information impossible to access through ordinary consciousness, intuitive flashes arriving during critical decision points. These mechanisms represent ongoing lighthouse operation beyond your physical presence. This cosmic lighthouse function represents divine orchestration beyond individual planning, cosmic intelligence aligning souls across dimensional boundaries for maximum evolutionary impact. Their gratitude for your appearance appropriately extends beyond your individual consciousness to the cosmic intelligence operating through your interdimensional awareness. Now they understand the question, "Are you even real?" transforms into the deeper truth. Is this limited reality the only real? Your visit demonstrated consciousness operating beyond conventional reality, revealing by extension that their essence transcends physical limitation. The form they currently inhabit, the personality they identify with, the memories constituting their history represent just one expression of their multidimensional existence. Their true nature extends beyond this specific manifestation into realms of being that defy ordinary comprehension. The intense significance they felt in your presence reflected recognition of this truth. Something in them remembered their own larger nature when confronted with someone operating from expanded awareness. The profound connection wasn't merely personal attraction, but soul recognition across dimensions. You appeared in their reality as a living demonstration of what they're evolving toward. You vanished to catalyze their search beyond physical limitations. Both your arrival and departure served the same ultimate purpose, awakening them to their true multidimensional nature. Your appearance fulfilled an ancient agreement. Before their incarnation into physical form, before temporal existence began, your souls established a sacred contract. You would appear at precisely the necessary moment to reawaken dormant consciousness. They would receive your transmission when suitably prepared for expansion. This pre-incarnational agreement explains the sense of destined encounter they experienced during your meeting. The overwhelming familiarity transcending this lifetime. The recognition operating at soul level beyond personality. The profound sense that something cosmically significant occurred beyond ordinary human interaction. Your fulfillment of this agreement demonstrates impeccable cosmic timing. You appeared neither prematurely, when they lacked capacity to integrate the experience, nor belatedly, when crystallized patterns would resist transformation. The precision timing reveals divine orchestration beyond individual consciousness, cosmic intelligence operating through both your awareness streams. The contract continues operating beyond physical encounter. Having fulfilled its initial awakening function, you continue providing guidance through subtle dimensions. Their responsibility involves integrating awakened consciousness into physical existence, embodying expanded awareness within material constraints. Both aspects serve equally essential functions within the sacred agreement as they progress along an awakened trajectory. They'll gradually access conscious awareness of this pre-incarnational contract through advanced meditative states, through quantum consciousness exploration, through interdimensional perception development. The full nature of your agreement will reveal itself, completing another phase in the eternal dance between your souls.